the game.
Salam alaikum. I suppose a game of two halves. In the first half, I think we played exceptionally well, extremely dominant, played to create a lot of chances and had six big chances. And they created two opportunities from our carelessness on the ball, and they caught us on the counter-attack. The one that Brian Onyango cleared off the line was a big chance, but came from our situation in having a set piece and turning over the ball. And the second chance, even towards the end, we turned over the ball and they created something from that. But to be honest, very stable, too much control, and we didn't feel like we were in trouble for most parts of the second half. I think tactically also we were very, very good. They changed the system a lot, made a couple of changes with the personnel also. And when we were expecting particularly a player like Hamid, who's the number 10 and probably the most important player for them in what we've analyzed, particularly in the games against Express and against Zenaco. And they overloaded the midfield. But today they went with a back three and they employed wing backs that were very, very aggressive. But a 3-4-3 sort of formation with a very aggressive wingers that came onto the sides to try and create 2v1 situations on our fullbacks. But we dealt very well with it, and we had a lot of space in the midfield, and we were very dominant. And when a player like Guzuli comes in and tries to press our fullbacks, then we know that our central midfielders are free. But when they come and press our central midfielders, we knew that we could utilize the fullbacks better. But second half, they made a couple of changes also. They brought in the number 8. They have an extra man in the midfield, which helped them a bit. And they took off the extra defender. And when they took off the extra defender and they reinforced the midfield, we found it very difficult then to get the free man in the midfield. And then that overload had created possibilities for us to be forced to play over the midfield line. And when you play over the midfield line with centre halves that are 6'8", 6'9", you know that your possibilities are of winning first ball. You don't necessarily stand too much of a chance. And then you've got to pick up second balls, but at times we were not compact enough to be able to pick up the second ball and then to keep the momentum in and around the box. But yeah, that's how football works, and there's no point in crying over spilled milk. It was just unfortunate that the Savreda injury also forced us to change the structure a little bit of our attack. That also compromised our high press a bit, but okay, Kutumela came on and did his best to try and help the team. But yeah, as I say, not so good in the second half, but a performance in the first half that we can build on.
Thank you, Coach. Now we'll start taking questions from the floor. We'll start from here, and then we can move to our live. We are live streaming on Zoom, so we'll start any. Okay.
I will ask the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Translate.
مع احترامي طبعا للقسم في الفوز بمجموعه كل الفرق، لكن دائما الجماهير تعتقد ان مباراه الاهلي وصن داونز هي الكبيره في المجموعه. الان مباراتك القادمه امام النادي الاهلي، شايف ازاي المباراه بعد تعادل الاهلي وتعادل صن داونز في الجوله الاخيره قبل لقائهما، ووجودك داخل معسكر في مصر في المكان اللي هيلعب فيه المباراه، الاستفاده هتكون اكبر بالنسبه لفريق صن داونز، والمباراه التي غالبا هتحدد من اول او ثاني المجموعه.
First of all, with all respect for the group stage for the teams, all the fans are interested for Al-Ahli and Sundowns games. With the last game of Al-Ahli being drawn, Mamelodi Sundowns being drawn. And because you guys going to be staying in Cairo, how did you see the next game against South Africa? Because in his opinion, the winner is going to be on the first group. Is going to actually the game is going to actually show who's going to be the first group or the second group.
Yeah, we are very much aware that it's a very, very difficult group. We can never make that mistake of focusing all our attention on Al-Ahly, because it's a group where 12 points put you in a position to qualify as the top, as number one. But the reality also is Al-Ahly only offer you 6 points. And then you've got to fight for the other points from Al-Hilal and Al-Merrikh, and you've got to give them the same amount of respect that you would give in terms of your preparation and the attention to detail that you would give to Al-Ahly. In fact, you probably know that the other games, Al-Merrikh, Al-Hilal, are probably more important in that space, because everyone was disappointed when we only beat Al-Hilal 1-0. But the reality is, if you look at Al-Ahly's game against Al-Hilal, and when they draw, you realize how important it was to win that match, you know, and we cannot be sidetracked by playing the name instead of playing the matches. We've got matches to play. We've got certain objectives to reach, and we know that the first objective is to qualify from the group, is not to beat Al-Ahly. It is to qualify from the group. We want to be in the knockouts, and to be in the knockouts means that we play every single match, including today's match, to try to win. And that's what we tried to do. So before we even speak about Al-Ahly and the next match, we focus on trying to analyze the previous match and try to see why we could not win it. And then try to train and improve. In South Africa, when we kept saying that we are still a team that is working very hard to get better, people were thinking that we were being modest and humble, but that was just the reality. And when people see the performances now and people see where we are, people try to make a lot of noise about it. But when we were 17 points ahead, and we kept saying that we are still a team that still has so much to improve. I know in the local media, a lot of people thought, no, diverting pressure, no, humble, modest, but that is the reality. We are never satisfied whether we win, whether we lose, whether we draw. We know that we have to always keep improving. And that's the work that we continue to do, regardless of domestic competition, Champions League competition, because there are certain targets that we've set for ourselves, and the ambitions of this club are far too great for us to relax and be content with where we are. We want to improve and we want to get better, and that's far more important than the rival that we face.
Oh, he understands. Okay. Now, any more questions? Okay, so we can move to Zoom. Mark, go ahead.
Thanks, Ines. Hello, Coach. Can I ask about Saavedra? And a second question: are you on the brink of perhaps a little bit of an attacking crisis with Safranco out, with Sereno out, with Shalolile maybe in a bit of a slump? Are you a bit concerned about that?
Look, Mark, the reality is we still have possibilities and the depth within the squad, and then we've got to find the solutions. That's why we are here as coaches. If we have no possibilities of using the strikers, that is the situation that is presented to us, and therefore we've got to find different solutions to the problems. Fortunately, we worked on certain things in this break that we had, that in a different formation and in a different structural attack, to try to see whether or not we could play a different way without some of our strikers. And in the game against TS Galaxy, a friendly at Klokop, we worked on different schemes, different organizational forms, and we were able to find a bit of joy. But it is what it is. It depends on how you want to look at it. And I always say that life is about perspective. It depends which pair of glasses you want to use. You can look at it as a crisis if you want, But sometimes that doesn't help you, because sometimes when you look from the negative perspective, you're stuck in the possibilities of not even trying to find solutions. But we try to be an organization that is driven by positivity, a lot of positive energy. We try to be leaders that are solution-based leaders, and solution-based leaders are leaders that look for solutions in certain problems, and sometimes even to try to preempt problems, you know, and that's the way we will continue. And of course, I think it's just only a matter of time before Peter scores. We know his qualities. We know what he gives to the team. It's not just about putting the ball into the back of the net. We spoke about it even before. What he gives to the team goes beyond just that final action in and around the box. He's responsible, like all our other strikers, to help us to start defending from the top, to help us with starting to create possibilities for penetrative movements. And as long as he keeps doing that, and the bigger picture is for the team to benefit, then we are content. But that then presents an opportunity not just to a player like Kermit, who came on today and after a very long time and some injuries, that gives him a possibility to also now start pushing for a place in the team.
Thank you, Coach. And I'm sorry we'll have to conclude the press conference because...
Savreda.
The second question.
Savreda. Yeah, look, Mark, I don't know. We have yet to assess him, so we'll wait for medical assessment and a directive from our medical department.